Welcome to Home Team Sports,
So
episode
pretty.
3,
The intro is so pretty. I'm sorry.
the last one of 2023. Merry
Yes, it-
Christmas and happy holidays to everybody, and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
That's coming up this
Yeah, it
weekend.
is. It is
And
very
also
cool.
coming up this weekend, we got some football. We got lots of big games. Week 17 and week 18. Almost every game matters. It's crazy.
Can I just say that I was right? I just wanted to say that I was right.
You absolutely say that. Go
I,
ahead.
I, I feel like if I don't say it enough, then it don't get heard. So,
But are you going to be right this week?
Probably again. Yes. Yeah. I'm definitely right. Like I'm right all the time.
You're
Well,
pretty
we'll
loud,
do our
Adrian.
predictions in a little bit, but we got some.
Everyone hears you, Adrian. You're pretty loud. Like it's pretty hard not to hear you. Reese.
You want me to turn down? Do I need to turn down the volume? Is it
No,
too
I think
loud?
you just just say it.
Oh, that I'm right. Okay, you're right. You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
I will
We hear you.
tone
We
I'll
hear
tone
you.
it down.
You're loud. It's okay.
But before we get into our week 17 predictions, we need to talk about the fact that, Sean Payton of the Denver Broncos, he's gone and benched Russell Wilson for Jason Statham. And not only that, but what does the future hold for Russell? They owe him, I believe it's 37 or 38 million next year. Unless they trade him or whatever, blah, blah, blah. That's a different story. I also know that he has to pass a physical in order to get that money in March. So this could be strategic as far as the Broncos go. Like, oh man, if he gets hurt week 17 or week 18, then that could cause a problem. So the fact that the Broncos are still like, I mean, I know it's a long shot, but they're not out of the playoffs. So I mean, they could still sneak into the playoffs. The right time for this, Adrian?
No, absolutely not. No, heck no. The right time for this would have been last year. Like absolutely. Russell Wilson stunk it up last year. Look, you can see the rift happen between him and Sean Payton all year long. Sean Payton, he's yelled at him multiple times, because he's not following the plan. He's calling audibles that are messing up. I mean, he's calling audibles that work. What's going on, Jason Holt? I think the reason why they're doing this now is because they figured they're not going anywhere. They can make these attempts and stuff, but you just got smashed by the Raiders. You're not going anywhere. You know you're not going anywhere. So what better time to blow up the team and to get in your own people to get it done your own way is to start now. They want to see what Jason Statham, whatever the hell his name is. They want to see what they want to see what he's got. Right. So Russell Wilson has been known to isolate himself from his teammates. You have ex-teammates like Marshawn Lynch, Richard Sherman, Cam Chancellor said, that guy was his own person and he kind of went off and did his own thing. So I'm not surprised by this. I'm a little surprised that it's early as it is. But he's not going to be with the Broncos next year. They're going to do what they can to either trade him or cut him.
Harry?
So to me, this is very layered. So the number one thing that I want to ask is, what did Pete Carroll see that led him to say, you know what, I'm good without Russell Wilson? Because, I mean, no disrespect to Geno Smith, but, I mean, he's Geno Smith, So I heard multiple things recently as of the day after Halloween that they went to Russell Wilson and told him to renege on his $37 million guarantee, or they would bench him and not play him. So my question is why would you hire a coach that really doesn't like the quarterback that they have? Because Russell Wilson was never a Sean Payton type of quarterback. ever. And my question to the three of you guys is, where does he go now? Does his ego dictate that he thinks he can be a starter when in reality he's not? And he doesn't get paid any more than that, what he gets paid now from the Broncos. So if you're Russell Wilson, you just retire.
Eagles fan number 7 says, I don't believe Russ will be traded. No one wants that contract. Also, hello, everyone. Long time no see. How's everybody doing? Yes. Eagle fan number 7 used to be a regular contributor to us back when we had Home Team Sports version 1, Matt Hardy style. So thanks for joining us, brother. The professor is here, Adrian. Whenever someone says no disrespect, it means some disrespect is coming. By some, I mean all the disrespect. Hi, friends.
All right. Well, all right, so Geno Smith is a backup quarterback that got lucky in Seattle. So yes, all disrespect intentioned because he sucked at the Jets and he's been trash. But I say that because you know what? When you can prove you're at least a good, really good, solid backup, you prove something because you could still make what? I don't know, $10 to $15 million a year, which is,
fair
living.
Fair market,
you know. So yeah, I mean it's no disrespect, but
All right, I want to hear from Chris.
All right. I mean, I think it's a bad move. It's not like Russell Wilson is having a bad season. He's having a Russell Wilson season when he has no defense. Denver's defense is one of the worst ranked defenses in the NFL. He's having a season which he's averaged every single year, found a way to make the playoffs.
Yeah, but he's not in his prime, and he's past his prime.
The mistake was signing him to a humongous mega contract when he did nothing but win one Super Bowl that was with the defense from Seattle. Seattle's defense won them a Super Bowl, took them to the playoffs. So Russell Wilson, he had 1 year where he threw, I think, 4,200 yards. Every year he's a 3,500, 3,200, 3,300 quarterback. He's not the elite quarterback that deserves that elite money. So they paid him that much money. That's their fault.
Okay.
He went to Denver thinking, I'm going to a defense that's ranked top 5 for the past 20 years. All I need to do is manage the game. I can win games. I can make the playoffs, possibly a Super Bowl, and go from there.
So let me pose a question to the three of you again.
Yeah.
Do you think Russell Wilson hit his ceiling during the Legion of Boom, and after that it was all downhill?
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. I kind of okay, so I would say I kind of agree with what Chris is saying, but I kind of disagree because regardless of how good your defense is playing, you still have to be able to put up points on offense, correct?
You had Marshawn Lynch.
You still have to be able to put up points on offense, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so if you look at the receivers that he had around him during those Super Bowl eras, who did he have?
Lockett.
He had Lockett.
Yeah, Lockett and oh God, what's his name?
He made a guy a superstar. I'll give him that. Like he's the past 4 years have been.
He also had Pete Carroll.
He had Pete Carroll. He got Tyler Lockett rookie year, and then before then he had a guy named Doug Baldwin who he turned into.
That was the other guy.
He turned him into a top 5 receiver. Doug Baldwin was coming off somebody's practice squad and got with the Seahawks, and he's next thing you know he's a top 5 receiver. Like I'll give him that, but the last 4 years, it's no. He's he should have really evaluated. I said this when it happened. Denver made a mistake signing him all that money because we were still talking about that when that happened. Denver made a huge mistake signing him all that money.
Yeah, I mean the Eagles were in that conversation.
Yeah, Yeah, because it was the Eagles, it was Tampa Bay, Dallas was on the board.
Yep.
And I was like, please don't come to Dallas.
Do you guys think that the fact that he played 4 years plus that one other year, so 5 years of college, hurt him long term?
No, I think that helped him, to be honest with you, because
Yeah, I think it helped him.
Yeah, nobody was really talking about him. Nobody was really talking about him until he came out of college.
Right.
And even then, they were kind of like, he's okay. And then he was a backup. He took over. He kind of had that whole Tom Brady-esque rise. He took over for the starting quarterback and then catapulted him to a Super Bowl. Like, he came out of nowhere and then helped catapult the team to the Super Bowl.
Well,
so, yeah.
He had the Dak Prescott syndrome. He wasn't drafted high. He ended up somebody getting hurt. He took over, but he's 5'10". How many guys think a 5'10" quarterback was just going to take over a starting quarterback position and do? He was good in college. He wasn't great in college.
Drew Brees.
He was okay in college.
Yeah, well, yeah. All right, guys. So I wanna move on from the subject, but the last thing I want to know is, has he played his last snap in the NFL, or does he end up somewhere else next season?
He ends up somewhere else.
And if so, where?
Patriots.
That's
maybe even if this kid for the Raiders doesn't pan out, he might be going to the Raiders because I think Jimmy G's done there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say Atlanta.
Those are 3 spots. I was going to be my top 3.
I was maybe Tennessee.
Tennessee's at 4, top 4.
Yeah.
No, Levis. Levis is good.
Will Levis is really good.
Which team can pay him a substantial amount of money and eat some of his contract?
The Commanders.
He's not released because
the Commanders. The Commanders have the money to do that.
So
yeah, but
also,
they got Howell.
I hear that they're gonna.
Are they sold on him?
I think they're gonna. No, I hear that the Broncos are gonna cut him by March.
They're gonna cut him, release him. Yep.
Okay, so then we'll find out.
So, but he doesn't get paid more. If he doesn't sign more than what he gets paid, he doesn't get any more money. So,
what's up, Shane?
Mr. Ping in the house. Does Russell Wilson try baseball? No, I don't think so. Go Birds. Yes. So speaking of quarterbacks, so there's this other guy in Cleveland.
Oh boy.
The ageless Joe Flacco is playing very well. And we talked about this last week. The Browns have a very good defense. He has solid different guys around him. He has a decent running game. They are an outside. I know it sounds insane to say this, but you know that they are an outside chance to get the number 1 seed in the AFC.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
So even if they don't get that, it's very possible that they'll be hosting a playoff game. A while, it's possible, but the Ravens. A lot of things have to happen. But anyway, how far can Joe Flacco take the Browns?
To the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Really?
The way he's playing?
Yeah.
300-yard games in a row. I mean, if you give him time as a Super Bowl winning quarterback like he is, he can light up any defense at any time.
He's got the experience.
Any NFL quarterback could.
He's got the experience.
Stop.
What's wrong, Harry? What's wrong? Just talk to us. What's going on?
Do you know Joe Flacco has like 6 interceptions in the last 2 games?
Yeah, 3 apiece.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they're winning anyway.
Have they affected the game?
So, all right. So let's break it down like this.
Okay.
How long do you think throwing, we'll say on a good day, 2, is going to take you in an NFL game? Like, at what point does Joe Flacco? Because let's be real, Joe Flacco is trash.
Until you make it to the playoffs.
Yeah, and then you play a good team, and you're 2 interceptions, and you lose by 21.
Okay, so let's see what Joe Flacco does tonight against one of the top-ranked defenses in the NFL.
With a trash offense.
I mean, I got a point.
Cleveland beat the 49ers, but not when he was quarterback.
Right now, you and Trevor Siemian might be able to play for the New York Jets.
Yeah, you don't
I
think
can
Joe
play.
Flacco benefited pretty hard that season from a dream team, a Hall of Famer retiring, etc.?
They had a well put together team. Yeah, they had.
It took him to throw for 200 and something yards in one quarter to win a game. Joe Flacco is good. I'm not saying he's not good.
He's trying to get his bonuses, dude. That's it. He gets bonuses. The further they go, the more bonuses he gets.
How many Super Bowl rings does Flacco have?
He's got one.
He's got one.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
You can take his defense
with the Ravens.
Yeah, and I recall another backup who took over for a Carson Wentz and actually won a Super Bowl for a team.
Yeah, that guy.
And he was a
backup.
He's also on the couch like you and me and everybody else.
So was Flacco until week 12.
I'd call him right now.
And he's lighting teams up.
All right, play the Powerball, Chris, because apparently you live pipe dreams.
If Hurts goes down, I'm making that phone call.
You're making that phone call?
Listen, Joe Flacco is, he's good, but Cleveland's defense at some point is going to hit a wall, and it's going to be the reason why they lose because Joe Flacco is not great. He's all right.
Yeah, he's a game manager, is what he is.
Game managers win Super Bowls.
It can happen.
Tom Brady,
but he is. But too many. But one thing though that Tom never did though was didn't turn over the ball as much as Flacco has been.
Joe Flacco has thrown 6 interceptions in 2 games. 6.
And have they won both of those games? Yes.
Oh, he's good. I think he has massively
twice a day. So
underrated in Baltimore and hated it because it was a defense-based team. Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes throws 2 or 3 interceptions a game and still wins the game. It's the way the game's played.
30 touchdowns a year.
on a bad year, yeah. On a bad year, yeah.
You heard it here first, Joe Flacco.
On a bad year.
Oh, he's got Odell, and he's got a good running game, and he's got a good offensive line. And I'm not Odell. I'm sorry.
First of all, Amari Cooper's not Cooper. Amari Cooper's hampered tonight. So besides Amari Cooper and maybe Njoku, who are you throwing it to?
We're gonna find out.
You got Peoples Jones.
Jones
traded.
Oh, he did.
Jones.
Oh, I don't. The water. You know what? I'm gonna go to Cleveland. I'm close enough. I'm gonna see if they need somebody to run routes. I may only get.
We talked about we talked about dark horses last week. We talked about that Cleveland is that team that
they are
zero respect because everybody's talking about Kansas City and Buffalo and the Ravens in the AFC, but they ain't talking about Cleveland, and they're right there.
It's that
you can't. They got 5 losses.
You can't throw 6 interceptions, though. That's my thing. Like, when you throw 6 interceptions, that's bound.
The Eagles were turnover happy and lost 3 straight.
But you got to push. You just push your asses together. It's fine. It's okay.
Yeah, but for 3 straight games, they turn over the ball like 4 or 5 times each game.
Okay, but does he have 12 touchdowns in those 3 games? I mean, he is throwing touchdowns.
Yeah.
So the interceptions, as long as they're not pick sixes and they're in opposing territory and it's not hurting your team too much, it's
in the case of the Browns, I think Flacco will maybe get them one more playoff, but never a Super Bowl. Also, losing Nick Chubb didn't help them.
No, but Kareem Hunt's had a resurgence as a running back, and
and that defense is vicious.
Yes, that defense is no fucking joke. Another thing, let me ask you this. So you just saw the Ravens dismantle, and I mean dismantle the 49ers.
They did.
They beat them like they owed them money.
But Cleveland beat the 49ers, but Joe Flacco wasn't the quarterback at the time.
Exactly, because of the defense. The defense was like swarming. You had Brock Purdy turn the ball over 4 times.
Because he's a fraud.
Yeah, 4 times. But everybody, he was in the MVP race because of his stats and the way he's been playing. Now, if you kind of look at it, like, let's see, when the past 2 games, how many interceptions? We'll go 3. How many interceptions has Purdy had? He's had about 6 or 7, right?
Got a few.
Yeah. So it kind of like that defense did what they can to help and try to keep him in the game, but it takes them. You still have to move the ball.
I mean, Purdy played his worst game of the season this past week.
It was bad.
That was his worst.
See, every time they play a good team, though, that's when you have this conversation. That Brock Purdy's throwing interceptions, he's having bad games.
And the media goes crazy and says, oh, the 49ers aren't the world beaters we thought they were.
Well, and they lost at home.
They got murdered at home. That was an assault.
They play the Commanders this week, man.
Yes.
They're gonna steamroll them like 42-10.
They're still going to be the number 1 seed.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely. There's nothing stopping them from being the number 1 seed. Absolutely.
Correct.
There's nothing stopping them. Like everybody can hope and dream and say, "Oh, if you win out and Eagles do this," and
I'll take the 2 seed. I'd rather be the 2 seed than the 5.
The 3 seed though, so that'd be fine.
Yeah. Well, I don't think Dallas is gonna get the top 3 seed.
No, they're gonna get the 5 seed.
Yeah. And
they're gonna have to go. And they're gonna have to go play Tampa 5 versus 4.
Yeah.
Baker Mayfield, get ready for it, baby.
Baker Mayfield.
You can't be nervous, Adrian, about Baker Mayfield.
Oh no, I just know how Dallas operates in the playoffs. Baker Mayfield, I'm not worried about, but it's a road game. They're playing a pretty decent defense, and they like to hand victories over with all the penalties and shit that they give away.
You don't believe in Atlanta? You don't think Atlanta could take that division?
Stop.
Hell no.
No.
Stop.
Not the way Baker's playing right now. Baker is lighting the league.
He's the hottest quarterback. He's the hottest quarterback in the NFL at the moment as far as passer rating goes. All right.
All 3 of us can beat Atlanta. What are you talking about?
So, as we all know, the Dallas Cowboys lost to the Miami Dolphins. And we can debate all day, did the Dolphins win that game or did the Cowboys lose it? It's my opinion that the Cowboys lost it. Yep. They beat themselves.
Mm-hmm.
My opinion doesn't matter. What matters is Tyreek Hill's opinion, and what matters is Colin Cowherd's opinion, because Tyreek Hill lashed out at Colin Cowherd for predicting that Cowboys would blow out the Dolphins. And I saw that. It was part of his Blazing 5 picks. He said it ain't even going to be close. He said that the Cowboys are going to make a statement this game, that they are going to blow them out by probably over 2 touchdowns. And when the Dolphins won the game, Tyreek Hill put up the following tweet on X. It's called X now, right? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Hey, so if it's not called tweet anymore, what do you call it?
Just X. I still say Twitter. I don't give a damn. He took the Twitter and he put up the following tweet. What sport has this thug played again? Concerning Colin Cowherd. That's Tyreek Hill on X saying, what sport has it? So he called him a thug. Called him a thug. So wait. Right. So then Colin Cowherd, of course, had to respond to that. And his response was, it's not my job to give you respect. You have Miami has 1 playoff win in 23 years. Ow.
Yes.
Ow.
What do you think?
Ow.
What?
I'm just saying ow, because that hurt. That hurt. That was a slap in the face. Like, that was a mic drop of a statement if you're going to make one.
It always goes back to wrestling. Keith always brings it back to wrestling.
I mean, it's possible.
Cowherd the work.
He's the Kobe Covington of sports analysts.
He's a piece of work. You're right.
Yeah, in my opinion. I think that we need to get players out of the media like that, because they're gonna end up saying something dumb. Look at Kadarius Toney early in the year.
Yeah.
You got Micah Parsons now. You got Tyreek Hill every now and then.
Yep.
Odell. I'm surprised Odell Beckham ain't said shit all year. That's been the biggest astonishment to me. Like, he ain't even opened his mouth. I think he took himself off Twitter.
AJ Brown said some shit a couple of weeks ago when they lost to the Cowboys.
He called Stephon Gilmore old in the media and all this stuff, and then that old man worked his ass, and so that was just terrifying. So
listen, it's not about whether or not they have opinions that we all want to hear, because we want to hear it. If Tyreek Hill wants to go on X and put out that statement about Colin Cowherd, it's the name calling.
Absolutely.
He called the man a thug.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And so that was trying to draw him out so that people are talking about it. And that's what we're doing. We're talking about it. And I'm sure tomorrow on Undisputed or Get Up or one of those things, they'll be talking about it too, because I mean, it's a juicy story between two people. One guy's in the media. One guy is if not the best receiver in the league. He's one of them.
So here's my question: what if Colin Cowherd or Skip Bayless or any other white media person decides to call a African American wide receiver or NFL player a thug?
Oh, you can't do that, Skip.
Yeah, it's the other way around.
You can't do
Yeah,
that,
yeah. Do the Shannon Sharp. Do the Shannon Sharp.
Look, let me tell you something, Skip. I'm gonna sit there and I'm gonna explain something to you. If you call somebody that look like me a thug, I'm gonna have to see you. I'm gonna have to see you. Right off the top, I'm gonna have to see you because I take it back. See, I grew up in South Carolina, Georgia, and see, we don't play like that. We don't even play like that, Skip. I'm telling you right now.
Did you notice that Shannon Sharp and Stephen A. Smith can't work with the guy? They had to get away from him.
Yep.
And so now poor what is it? Is it Richard Sherman?
It's Richard Sherman and
Richard
Keyshawn.
Sherman,
And Keyshawn Johnson.
Have you seen that show? Because
they argue but I mean,
no, it's bad. It's bad.
It gets bad. Yeah, no, yeah. Sherman tells them off.
No, I've seen Keyshawn walk off. I've seen Richard Sherman walk off. Like
they walked off in conjunction to what each other said to each other.
Yeah. Because they don't have respect for a man who's never played the game. That's the problem.
It's not the stuff that Skip says. It's the conversation they have with each other. Yeah. So it's not.
So since I have a very logical Dallas Cowboys fan on the panel, let me ask you this, Adrian. Why the hell don't we have a bigger running back so Tony Pollard or that stupid fullback doesn't have to run that close to the yard line?
You mean they never replaced Zeke, is what you're saying?
Why, all right, so why is Leonard Fournette not a Dallas Cowboy?
My honest opinion?
Yeah.
It is a two-parter. Jerry Jones and Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy has never been big on running the ball. Every time Mike McCarthy has had a running back, it's not done. He's not worked well with running backs. Just put it that way. That offensive line is not the offensive line that they say it is. So you need somebody with a little bit of oomph to get back there and to push that pile. Now, when we had Zeke, what did we do with him? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I get it. He was kind of the tread on the tires they were gone. Like he wasn't the same Zeke, but he still ran with power. That was the difference. I was surprised this year when they cut him because he would have took less money to stay in Dallas. And you see what he did. And he's done it in a couple games in New England where he's had big games. He's had substantial games. You don't need him to be rookie Zeke. You don't need him to run for over 100 yards. You just need 50 yards out of the guy on short down and distances because let's face it, he's going to push the pile. They are done when it comes to in-season adjustment. Dallas does not make well in-season adjustments because you can see it. You can see it as a glaring hole. You got the middle of that defense that is wide open, and you have nobody to push the pile coming out of the backfield on offense. Had they addressed those two things, we might be looking at two different situations. Leonard Fournette running behind Zach Martin, that's a nightmare. That's a nightmare. You could have got him cheap. They move money around all the time. They move money around all the time. That would have been a huge difference maker. Hell, there is Duke Johnson still out there. Duke Johnson's a big running back. He can move. There's a lot of names that were out there that they could have picked up. They could have kept on Ronald Jones. Ronald Jones was a big back. Ronald Jones is a big, powerful back.
Who they don't use? What about Dowell? Dowell, whatever his name is.
Rico Dowdle.
Yeah.
No.
Nope.
No. He's too light in the ass. Sorry. Too light in the ass.
All right, Jason, I want to answer this question. I was watching that game. It was an intentional grounding play where Lamar was scrambling, and he was scrambling. He was already at the 10-yard line, so he just kept scrambling back. He scrambled back this way, then he swung around, swam back the other way, and tripped over the referee. The referee was in his way or whatever, but he still grounded the ball. So I don't want to hear about tripping the referee. What did he do in the first place? He should have threw the ball away instead of trying to make something happen. But that's not Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson always tries to make something happen, no matter how many guys are on him. He's got 3 or 4, 5, 6 guys on him. That's how he's made a living. That's how the Ravens are contenders. But yeah, he tripped over the ref. But guess what? It was a safety. They won the game anyway. It doesn't matter.
It would have been a bigger deal if they had lost, but the fact that the way they beat them, I don't think people care about it. But had they
Sean Hardy, go Dolphins. You're going to the Dolphins.
Yeah.
He's going to the Dolphins.
The ref is part of the playing field.
Yeah.
So if he gets in the way, trips you, pushes you, does whatever, it doesn't matter. He is part of the game.
Exactly. Some of the calls sucked ass for us. Part of why I think we can't run over them in a Super Bowl game. Refs just won't be that damn stupid. Usually with the Super Bowl, and correct me guys if I'm wrong, but usually with the Super Bowl, the referees are a little bit more lenient, especially when it comes to holding calls, and they don't want the Super Bowl to be decided by, a holding call. You know what I'm saying?
They get
unless it's blatantly obvious and you can't deny it. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. I saw some blatantly obvious stuff Sunday that I'm not just talking about.
But that wasn't the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
that was a regular season game.
Yeah, and a lot of those refs get mixed into the Super Bowl teams too, and to the Super Bowl refereeing.
There was a blatant one a couple years ago that cost the team from getting to the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's been several.
Yep.
But
it's every
get back to the Cowboys thing there. Yeah. It's Tony Pollard he's still recovering from the injury from last year.
But that has nothing to do with power though.
Yes, but Dallas has always been a run-first team.
They were.
Always.
Until McCarthy came.
So Pollard getting hurt, you should have gave more snaps to somebody else, knowing he's still injured and he's still getting over the recovery.
They have other running backs.
They got other running backs. These guys are NFL running backs. They're there for a reason. It's not there because they're backup. They are there for a reason. They got drafted. They're on the team.
Yeah.
They
just don't run the ball, man. They live and die.
The ball. Dallas is a run-first team. You can't let
Prescott not
throw
McCarthy.
the ball as many times as he is.
I know, but McCarthy's a pass guy. He's a pass. It's that's his offense. That's the McCarthy offense, and they're going to live and die with CeeDee Lamb and Ferguson and those guys versus running the football by committee. Even though the offensive line is pretty good, and that's what they should be doing. I think they would have, I'm not saying to be undefeated, but maybe they've only had 1 or 2 losses had they have a more balanced offense for the rest of the season. Those blowout wins that they have got it in their head that their system is working. Mm-hmm. And so when they actually play those good teams, that's why they have 5 losses, because that doesn't work with everybody. You have to scheme for who you play against. And McCarthy just says, we're going to live and die with Prescott and CeeDee Lamb and Ferguson and whoever else.
It seems to work great at home, but not on the road.
Right. I mean, because the Cowboys jump out to a lead. The Cowboys defense is really good, and the Cowboys offense jumps out to a lead. So then whoever's playing them at home is always playing catch up and trying to, and that's how
does that not happen on the road? There's good road teams out there. There's good home teams. I mean, every game, whether it's a road game or a home game, you got the same thing going into every game.
You have the fans. On a road game, you have distraction. Dak Prescott doesn't work on it. It proves that Dak Prescott cannot work under pressure. That's why he fails in the playoffs, because more times than not, Dallas doesn't host a playoff game with him at quarterback.
Then when they did, they lost.
Because Dak Prescott gets with the fans going berserk. He can't manage games the way he can when he's in Dallas, and they shut the hell up and let him work. Because then he's one of the best in the league when he's like that. But under pressure, he can't take it. He can't take the pressure. And there's only 5 or 6 quarterbacks in the league that can. But Dak Prescott's not one of them.
So if you can sit here and try to make excuses for the way they play, like on my end, like, okay, well, half the line's missing 1 week and they're back, and then you got another half of the line missing the next week, and then they're back. I think a lot of things have systematically hurt them from the past till now. They don't really manage people well, and you were right about Dallas is no longer a run first team. They haven't been in the past 2 years. They have not been a run first team. They've been a pass first team because that's the way, like you said, Mike McCarthy operates. His entire offense going all the way back to Green Bay, it's always been a pass first. They had, Lacey, and Lacey would have big run, but Lacey was, they called him, he was Jerome. Yeah, well, that too. But he was Jerome Bettis 2.0. That's what they were calling him. He was a bust 2.0. But, at the same time, that offensive line, there's nothing you can tell me that offensive line is one of the best in the NFL, because it's not. You have a Pro Bowl player. You have a guy who can't stay healthy, who's probably going to be gone next year.
Yeah, but every time I've ever seen Dallas play this, it doesn't look like Dak's like under a whole lot of duress.
Oh, he is. He is.
Depending on who they play. When they're playing a defense like the 49ers, that's different. But when they're playing the Giants or something.
Buffalo exposed that offensive line. Plain and simple. Buffalo exposed that offensive
Amari
line.
Cooper's out tonight for the Browns.
They in trouble.
Okay, we'll talk about that. We're going to go into our Week 17 NFL predictions because we got about 20 minutes left. But before we do that, Harry brought up the thing about Al Michaels, and I wanted to talk about it real briefly. The only thing I heard, Harry, correct me if I'm wrong, is that he made some derogatory comments towards Taylor Swift, not directly, but like basically referring to that as a sideshow. And that he basically said, the NFL should stop showing her every time Kelsey gets a first down or whatever, blah, 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 and focus more on the game. And he got a lot of heat for that.
So I don't know how much you guys watch his when he does it, but his whole passion, and it just comes across like he's just not into it. Like even when last year,
he's getting old.
Well, last year, the playoff game when the Chargers blew the lead, you would have thought that field goal was a Week 5 field goal kick to win the game. Like it didn't matter to him.
Right.
He's not into it anymore. He's, for whatever the case may be, mailed it in.
He's 80, Harry. He's 80 years old.
Okay, but all right. So, Alan, if you're 80 years old and you just don't have the drive to do it anymore, why are you doing Amazon Prime games where you get
money?
Paid?
He's still getting paid big money to do it.
Yeah, but so then you this is his after next year's his last year in that contract.
Yep.
Pay him to go away.
Honestly, I agree. I think that Al Michaels should have retired, but see, I think that he wanted to retire, but Amazon said wrote a big enough number where they took him, because he was on Sunday Night Football with Collinsworth, and I thought that they worked good together. I thought he was still a little bit more into it the past, about as recently as 5 seasons ago. But you're right. Ever since he's gone to Amazon, he's just kind of going through the motions. He's calling the plays. He's calling the games, but there's no pep in his step. There's no excitement when somebody gets a touchdown, like anything like that. He's just kind of going through the motions. And what he said about Taylor Swift, he has a point, but the NFL obviously is loving this whole thing because it puts, she's a big star, so she shines a light on the NFL. I mean, imagine if the Chiefs make it to the Super Bowl. She's going to be there. It's going to be a big deal. You know what I'm saying?
How much?
They did the same thing with Jessica Simpson. When Jessica Simpson was there for Tony Romo, he talked and talked and talked about her being up there. They videoed her up there the whole time, this, and this. That has nothing to do with it. He's
How
been
much?
in the league doing this for how many years? It's
Over
time for him to
50.
move on.
Over
Yeah.
50 years.
Yes, it's time
So
for him to move on.
here's an idea. So Al Michaels is, I would say, pretty known for making innuendos about gambling
Yeah.
and all his answers and his responses. Like, oh, I'm sure some people are really happy about that field goal. How much do you think the fact that it's legalized now really hurts his whole stick and his whole comments and his little thing here and there that really takes away from his play by play?
I don't think it
We lost
really.
Chris for a second.
I don't think it really
I just
hurts
switched
his play
screens
by
now.
play. Personally, I think that once him and Collinsworth split up the team, I think he was done after that.
She's the biggest star in the world. Every other brand would kill to get her to pay to show up on their brand. And that's why the reality, like it or not. You're right.
Oh, absolutely.
If she was dating a UFC fighter and she showed up at UFC fights, the Swifties would beg mom to buy the pay-per-view just to see her. You know what I'm saying?
Why do you think Donald Trump's been at the last UFC fights?
And why do you think the ratings of the Chiefs games have gone sky high? Because about half of that are Swifties.
Man, he just needs to shake it off.
I just think he might be that he's not getting paid what all these other commentators are getting paid. Granted, he's been in it for how many years? He's making nowhere near the Tony Romos, the Collinsworth. These other guys are getting paid. He is getting well underpaid to do what he's doing because he's done it for how many years?
Right.
Exactly.
He's like a set salary.
I like the memes though. Like my daughters are big Swifties, right? So I like the memes that are out there of she has sucked the talent out of Travis Kelce.
Yeah, she definitely they knew she was trouble when she walked in.
Just stop.
Stop.
All right, stop.
So what you're saying is it's karma.
It's karma. It's total
karma. Exactly. It's all karma.
They're making money off her. They got Swiftie jerseys. They got everything. Kansas City. They're making so much money off of her being there. And the girls are wearing Taylor Swift, Kelce jerseys. It's crazy.
Yes. They're wearing 87s with Swift on the back.
Swift on the back. It's insane.
And look what y'all made her do.
Yeah.
I think what? The fact that you know all these songs, Adrian, I'm a little.
I know.
What are you talking about? I don't know.
Got me concerned.
I'm just replying to what you guys are saying.
All right, guys, we got about 15 minutes to get these NFL predictions in, man.
All right, let's break it down.
This week in the NFL, starting tonight with the New York Football Jets against Cleveland. We talked about Joe Flacco earlier. Does Joe Flacco get her done? We'll go around the room. Since Chris moved, now he's going to go last. So, Harry.
I'm going to shock the world and tell you the New York Jets will beat the Cleveland Browns because there's no Amari Cooper.
That's the big difference?
Yes. The only difference.
Business is business, yes. Yes, I disagree with you wholeheartedly. Cleveland wins. Go ahead, Adrian.
I absolutely disagree with Harry. Cleveland wins.
I hate to say it, but this is a Joey Flacco revenge game. He's coming back to a team where he played the past 3 years.
It's in Cleveland, by the way.
You had a chance when the quarterback went down to sign Flacco and bring him in, whether it's practice squad, backup, whatever. You let him sit there. Right. And he didn't play that bad for the Jets. He was a decent quarterback, decent backup. When he came in, he just had no weapons, no running game. He had nothing to do, nothing to use. Now he has a team, and he's playing for incentives right now. So,
right.
I'm going with Joey Flacco tonight.
You're going with Joey Flacco. Yeah. It's nice to see you, Anthony. We miss you, buddy.
Block him?
I cannot put his comments up if you want. I got Anthony destroying JJ in the championship, by the way.
Oh, absolutely. I call for a 3-peat.
Okay. Totally 3P. All right. Anyway, so
Somebody's
that
got
was
too
it.
much time on their hands.
So that's tonight. That's tonight. Okay. Then on Saturday, we got a Saturday night 8:15 game. Lions at the Cowboys, Harry.
Detroit.
All right. I'm gonna go Dallas.
Okay. Adrian said the Lions. Chris.
I'll say what I said.
And I'm going Dallas at home because that's all they do is they win at home.
Yeah, I'm going with the Cowboys as well.
Come on, Adrian. What do you got?
No, he said Lions.
Oh, come on.
Right now. Just give me the belt right now.
Cowboys are better at home. They're just a better team at home.
You know, the guns got them all excited. It's all right.
They'll win. I got the Cowboys at home, and that's a Saturday night prime time. Everybody's watching game. That's the only game on Saturday night at 8:00. So Cowboys and Jerry World. All right, Titans at Texans on New Year's Eve, 1:00.
I'm gonna have to go Texans.
Okay, Adrian.
Ooh, that's a good one. Texans.
Yeah.
Texans, Stroud's back. I think the Texans are fighting for a playoff spot. Tennessee's got nothing to play for.
CJ Stroud is back, and the Texans are trying to get into the playoffs. So I got the Texans at home. Falcons at the Bears. Harry talked about the Falcons trying to sneak into the playoffs here. You know, they got to start by beating the Bears. Harry,
man. No, Bears.
You got the Bears. Adrian?
Bears and who?
Falcons. In Chicago.
The Bears. The Bears.
Chris?
I'm going to go with the Bears.
Yes, we all got the Bears.
That's
Bears.
a pretty good defense, too, by the way. The Bears' defense is pretty solid.
You know, Dallas out, by the way.
Together.
Hey, I'm not going to argue. Oh, so Miami Dolphins at the Ravens in Baltimore. Harry?
Ravens by 21.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
I concur.
Yeah, it's not going to be pretty
Ravens by 21. All right, you both got the Ravens, Chris?
Waddle going to be out for the game. They're going to just rely on Tyreek Hill. But I'm going to take Miami with that running game. I think they're going to feed the ball, and Miami's going to find a way to win that game.
They have extra players in zebra stripes, so I mean, why wouldn't you?
I think Miami's going to find a way to win.
I'm taking I'm taking the Dolphins too. Okay.
Starting to worry me.
Well, no, because I think that's good because that'll throw a monkey wrench in the whole shebang if the Dolphins win that game, and that's what I've been saying all year long. That the NFL wants parity. So then we got the oh man, I lost my place. We got the Saints at the Buccaneers in Tampa. Basically, Tampa can wrap up the NFC South.
Bucks.
Baker.
Harry?
I'll say the Bucks.
The Mayfields. Yeah.
Baker Mayfield.
All
he
right,
might be doing a commercial. Maybe he'll be somewhere in Tampa doing a commercial.
Mm-hmm.
Geico. Mm-hmm. Who knows?
He'll be back on commercials, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, yeah. Jason's got the Buccaneers as well. New England Patriots travel to Buffalo. Might be some snow in the forecast. You know, pretty much. I mean, I got Buffalo on this one pretty handily. You, Harry?
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's a rivalry game, but I'm still going with Buffalo.
Well, I mean, this is a rivalry game, but the Patriots already beat them once this year. So I think Bill Belichick knows that offense, and it's going to be a close game.
It'll be close. I think it'll be closer than people think.
But I see Buffalo pulling it out.
All right. The Arizona Cardinals come to Philadelphia. It is the Eagles' last home game of the season, and Philadelphia needs that win and a Dallas loss to clinch the NFC East. Harry?
Philadelphia.
Adrian?
Arizona.
Arizona.
Chris?
So bad.
Much as I'd like to see Kyler
James
Murray throw
Conner,
for
please.
500 yards against that defense, I'm going to take the Eagles.
James Conner, man.
James Conner. Trey McBride, please.
James Conner.
Maybe Kyler Murray will stop playing college.
You guys are all reaching.
Oh, that's my upset pick of the week. That's why I picked them. I always got to pick an upset. So I think Arizona's going to be.
Oh, my upset is the Dolphins over the Ravens.
Yeah, Dolphins over the Ravens. Yep.
That ain't gonna happen.
That's
delusional. That's not an upset. It's a delusional pick.
I won 4 upsets last week. You got to pick the upsets this time of the year.
You got to.
So very quickly, then the Panthers at the Jaguars.
They say that Trevor Lawrence is a game time decision. So,
Jags.
But I just think that
I think the Jags should win with their third string quarterback.
Panthers can't put up enough points to beat them.
Jags.
So Jags.
Okay.
Who is the Jaguars' backup quarterback? I'm trying to think.
Byron Leftwich.
No.
Byron Leftwich. He's a coach.
Oh.
No, who is it?
Byron Leftwich.
Here's my upset of the week. Carolina beats the Jaguars.
Wow.
And yes, I'm delusional, but it's my upset of the week.
I wasn't going to say you're delusional. I wasn't going to say anything about you being delusional.
Raiders at the Colts then. Remember the Raiders are coming off of a beating up on Kansas City.
Yes, I got the Raiders, and they're going to take that playoff spot away from the Colts.
Whoa! Tony Khan? No, he's not the backup of Lawrence. There, Keith.
You got to get off wrestling. 5 seconds.
It all comes back to wrestling, man.
So I'm going to say the Raiders win, and then they don't hire Antonio Pierce because they're morons.
Agreed.
Okay.
100%.
I got the Raiders. Rams at Giants. Rams need this. Rams need it desperately.
Rams, and they're going to clinch it. They're going to take a playoff spot this year. I'm telling you.
Rams.
Little Chris says the Raiders. I'm with the little man.
Yeah.
Rams. All right.
Smart
Rams, yes. Rams are going to get that playoff spot. Adrian?
I said Rams.
You said Rams. Okay.
Rams.
So that's the 1 o'clock games. We go to the 4 o'clock games. There are 3 of them. Steelers at Seattle, in Seattle. Both teams trying to desperately sneak into the playoffs.
I'm going to go Seattle.
Ooh.
Is Gino playing?
Gino's playing.
Okay.
It's gonna be ugly.
Ugly.
It's gonna be ugly because they play each other real. They play each other real hard. So I'm gonna go out on a limb here. I say, wait a minute. I'll go. You know what? I'll surprise myself. I'm going Pittsburgh.
Okay, Chris.
I'm gonna go with Seattle.
Rudolph, that concussion.
I'm going with Seattle just because they're home. I think they win by 3.
Also sucks. So
Bengals at the Chiefs. This was a marquee matchup 6 weeks ago, but now
nobody cares.
Nobody cares. Is Patrick Mahomes going to bounce back from the Raiders loss? Probably. Yeah. The Bengals, right? So I got the Chiefs. You guys?
They still got nobody to throw the ball.
I got the Chiefs just because Patrick Mahomes is better than Browning. So.
Bengals.
I'm going with the Bengals.
Regardless
if the Chiefs
you guys,
lose,
all right.
The Chiefs are still going to win the division.
We're
the Bengals got something to play for. The Bengals still have a playoff chance.
So. The Bengals have what?
The Bengals still have a playoff chance to make.
Of course they do, but I mean, so does the Atlanta Falcons, and we're all jumping on that bandwagon.
The Chiefs have lost how many games in the past 5? 3 of their past 5.
They're going to right the ship. Andy Reid's going to right the ship, and
I don't believe so.
They're
home.
Ship is
gone. Ship has sailed.
Nah, they're going to be fine.
This team is a first round out in the playoffs.
They're going to be fine. Long. They will make it to the AFC Championship game.
No, that's not going to happen.
Yes, they will.
Playing on the road, it's not going.
Yes, they will. No, yeah, they're going to go. It's going to be Kansas City at Baltimore in the AFC Championship game.
Oh my God!
To Chris's point, though, so you have to think about with Cincinnati. and who they're playing,
Mm-hmm.
and with the Chiefs, there's no Pacheco. If there's no Pacheco, there's no McKinnon. Do you really trust Hilaire? Running
He's
game
been
wise.
hurt most of the year.
So, I mean, Jamar Chase, they say may play, but with no Pacheco and no McKinnon,
Yeah, Bengals are
And-
banged up, man. It's perfect for the Chiefs have to bounce back from that disappointing Raiders debacle.
And
so
Travis Kelce hasn't did nothing the past 4 games.
he's been
So-
too busy, banging America's sweetheart with no ass.
And
So, I
she
mean-
sucked the talent out of him.
I'm sorry, Andrew. Did I make you laugh?
That was funny. That was funny. I don't understand what that obsession with that poor woman. She is shaped like an iPod 12. Like
Because the players got to play. That's why.
But
Yeah,
she's
exactly.
a billionaire.
Yeah, but
right.
she shook it all
We got-
off, though.
Come on,
There's
guys, we got-
nothing to shake off.
Two more. We got two more. The Chargers at the Broncos with Jason Stidham at quarterback with the Denver Broncos in Denver. It's the Russell Wilson bench game.
Sorry, I didn't mean to laugh like that.
So, is there any way that they cannot, can they block this game out so no one has to watch it?
Well, the
Good.
Broncos fans want to watch it, I'm sure. The
You want to
Chargers.
watch Jason Statham play Easton Stick?
My son has this fascination with backup quarterbacks coming in there and lighting it up. And that's what he told me. He said, Dad, Jason Stidham's going to go in there and he's going to throw for 350 yards and 3 touchdowns. And I said, yeah, well, he's playing a paper mache defense, so it's okay.
You should get him checked out. Get him checked out.
But
Say, listen, Connor, I think you need some help. I think we need to talk to somebody.
So there is no Monday night game, but the last game of Week 17 is Sunday Night Football on New Year's Eve, where the Minnesota Vikings host the Green Bay Packers.
Oh, so 2 games in a row and no one gives a fuck about it.
And the Packers are starting, or the Minnesota's starting a rookie quarterback.
They are.
Yeah, who?
I don't even know his name. Do you know his name?
He started against the Packers last time they played.
It's
Let me look that up.
Game this year.
It's like Justin Hall or
Yep,
something
Josh
like
Hall.
that.
Josh Hall.
Josh Hall.
Josh Hall
I'm going to go with the Packers.
gets the call. So limited participation for that game. AJ Dillon did not practice. Aaron Jones did not practice. Jaden Reed did not practice. Darnell
Wicks.
Savage did not practice.
Wicks.
This is all for Green Bay.
Yeah, and Wicks too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of did not practice. As for the Vikings,
Addison is probably not playing. Hawkinson.
Addison did have limited participation in practice, so he's probably going to go.
Well, they're supposed to get the starting running back. What, Madison? He's supposed to be back, right?
That's what. Yeah, yeah.
So
the running
I'm
back will be
going to go
back.
with
Alexander Madison comes back. Jordan Addison is going to play. Sheldon Day is going to play. Doubtful is Theo Jackson. Doubtful is Jalen Naylor and Byron Murphy, the corner.
So can we
Packers.
can we switch the Ravens game to Sunday night so we can watch something?
Ravens Dolphins. I'm all for that, man.
Yeah,
I'm all for. Hey, I'm all for taking the stupid Jets and Browns off tonight and putting that game on now.
Yeah, they were
Well,
trying
nobody
to
wants
change it,
Thursday
but they
nights
decided
anyway.
not to. They decided not to change that game.
I want Dallas and Detroit. Put them on Sunday night in
Saturday
Jerry
night,
World.
I
Huh?
like Saturday night. I can go with. I can go with.
Yeah, Saturday night's all right.
yeah. We get the depression drinking over with.
Stop it.
I mean, I like your kid with the backup quarterbacks because they've been doing a hell of a time this year.
All
These
year
backup
long,
quarterbacks
there's
have
been
lightened up
these.
this
You know
year.
what?
They're
I've
making a
always
name for
worried about
themselves.
that.
Half of them are going to be starting quarterbacks in the NFL next year.
I don't know about half of them, but a lot of them. You're right.
All right, I need you to calm down here. Jason Statham's going to come in there with the Denver Broncos and just light it up, right? He's just absolutely going to light it up.
Isn't it Stidman? Is that his name? Stidman?
It's Jason Stidman. Stidman.
Yes, Stidman. He played for the
Please get
Patriots,
the
I
freaking
think.
guy's name right.
Yeah.
What the hell did I say wrong?
We got it right by the end of the show.
He's going to be the transporter. Is what he's going to be.
We were going to call him JS.
He's going to throw 3 picks and probably 150 yards. Yeah.
All right, calm down.
I don't
man.
think 3. He'll throw 1.
Does
The kid
anybody?
is not any good.
So-
He's a journeyman backup.
You're not better than Bailey Zappi, but yeah, you're gonna, all right, and decide to beat somebody.
Oh
You
yeah,
can't
calm
do
down. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what we're gonna do. It's Broncos country, mate. Let's ride.
Yeah, right to the dumpsters where you rode. Right to the goddamn dumpsters.
Yeah, we were calling him Jason Statham. We were calling him Jason Statham.
You had a great value quarterback. Since they're owned by Walmart, they're great value quarterbacks right now in Denver.
All right, yeah.
Roll back.
A bit, yeah. Roll back a little bit, yeah. You're right.
All right, guys. Make sure you like our videos, subscribe, tell your friends, share them out for all of us. We come on here each and every Thursday night to chat sports with you. We had some other topics lined up. We're going to get to those next week. The hour is up, but in the meantime, this Saturday, guys, on this exact same channel, Around the Turnbuckle, near and dear to my heart.
We'll be watching.
Check out Saturday, 6:00, Around the Turnbuckle special, end of the year spectacular, where we will reveal the top 5 most popular episodes of 2023. We are well into our 3rd year of Around the Turnbuckle. I'm proud of that. We hope that Home Team Sports, this is episode 3. So we hope we keep Home Team Sports going. And we do that by you guys spreading the word and getting more people on us, more eyes on us. Yeah. Adrian's Jason Statham is amazing. Adrian's amazing at a lot of things. We know this. We know
Except
this.
being a Cowboys fan. He sucks to being a Cowboys fan.
But hey, mate, I'm gonna need you to calm down here, right? See, I'm an honest person. I'm an honest bloke, right?
Cowboys guaranteed will beat the Lions this week.
Cowboys will beat the Lions. Mark it down.
That's it.
The Cowboys fans in the room have doubts.
No,
but I'm telling you, they are going to win.
There was the honest one.
No,
it ain't about honesty, man. It ain't about honesty. It's about.
Oh, you taking the piss, mate? Is what I'm saying to you. Are you sitting here telling me right now? Are you taking the piss, mate? Is what I'm trying to say to you right now.
Behind you, mate. All right?
I'm telling you right now. There's no bloody way these fuckers are gonna sit here and win in J-Roll. Plain and simple. They're gonna sit there. They're gonna box the whole thing, and it's gonna be all fucked, mate. I'm telling you right now. All fucked.
Right.
Happy New Year from Home Team Sports. We'll see you guys next Thursday, our first episode of 2024. We'll see you guys then, guys.
Good night, guys.